Happy Friday, happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Luke, and today I'm going to be talking about Shazam, Fury of the Gods. This is the follow-up to the 2019 movie Shazam, set in the DC universe, or whatever this will be or will become. And let's definitely get into this one. This was a anticipated movie of mine for this year, especially within this month. In terms of the superhero movies coming out this year, this was a little bit higher on my list than things like Ant-Man or Guardians or any of the other ones coming out. But we do have a lot of the returning cast among some new cast as well. Primarily, we have Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren as the villains in Shazam 2. So let's get into this because we're going to have a little bit of goods, a little bit of bads, but more so on the bads, I'm afraid. I found this one to be extremely disappointing, which is a bummer to me because I really enjoyed the first Shazam film. I loved Zachary Levi as Shazam. I loved all of the characters, the story of the first Shazam. I connected with it among the backstory of the characters. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of the villain in the first one, I liked the concept and where they were going into more of this darker side with some creatures that we don't typically see in most superhero films these days. But it was something new, it was something exciting. So I was very excited to see where Shazam 2 would go. And man, this one just did not deliver for me. Mostly with our new villains. We have Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren coming in that are basically the children of Atlas. And so the setup for this is that an event that happens in the first Shazam movie basically is what leads into this one. Something happens which opens up the doorway to the worlds, and now we have the children of Atlas coming into our world, Earth, essentially, or however you wanted to think about it there, that are essentially looking for revenge. And that's the core gist of it. Among following are heroes, which are basically laughed at by the city. We're following that all Shazam is really going through in this movie is a little bit of identity crisis. We don't get a lot of the core family connection in this one until really the end of the movie. And being a over 2-hour movie, I struggled a lot with the first two acts, and mostly that's a lot due to the setup and just lack thereof of things going on. The villains that we have are very flat. They don't do too much. They just float around and utilize their magic, and that's about it. There's so many things that kind of go on that felt pulled from other superhero movies. I didn't see a lot of originality in this. It just felt like, oh, I've seen that in this movie. I saw that in this movie. It just felt like they were grasping for ideas, trying to pull something together to come up with the story. And we don't get a lot of time with Billy Batson. Mostly it's with Shazam, but I will say that we get a lot of time with Freddy, played by Jack Dylan Grazer. And I actually kind of like that. I appreciated his character a little bit more. Going into the siblings and the other superheroes, we do get more interaction with them in this one, and each get their own little bit of screen time. But really, Shazam, Billy, and Freddy, those two are getting most of the screen time throughout this. And they have the core relationship. They connected so much in the first movie, so we're kind of seeing that continuation here. But we get a lot of, wanting to go out and do my own thing versus try to be a family. Let's stick together. If we're going to do this, let's all do it together, or not going to do it at all. So we get a lot of back and forth around that. But again, once we get into a lot of the core events, they weren't too exciting for me. Again, like I said, I'm seeing so much that was being pulled from other movies. The jokes, some worked, most didn't. We get some very interesting moments with the people of the city, and to me, so much of it felt forced that it just became a weird, awkward watch. And if you watch my short, you know that, like, I really didn't get invested in this until once you get to the final 20 minutes, because that's when it gets really entertaining. You're getting some new monsters. You got the dragon, which I guess we can talk about the dragon for a second. I thought the dragon was a bit of a waste. I mean, dragon just feels like a cop-out experience now, because you got Game of Thrones among some others that have really excelled at giving us a awesome dragon, but the dragon in this one just didn't work for me. I mean, it's basically made of wood. The wings are like not really there, so I don't understand how it can fly, and it just didn't really work for me. I mean, I think younger audiences will get a kick out of it and like it, but things like that just felt like a waste. We do get more of these mythological creatures, which are cool, but we only get them for a short round, and then going into a lot of the events that happen, a lot of it's just predictable, and again, the jokes just didn't work for me. So we do get some very interesting moments, and I won't go into spoilers, but definitely stick around, because a lot of the highlights you're going to get in the final minutes of this. And though it's interesting, was it necessary? I don't really know. And most of that's going into this, that we have new leadership at DC. We know that they're changing up the DC. So I kind of went into this wondering, how is this going to connect with any of the future projects, and how is it going to reshape the future of this DC entertainment universe? Did we get that? I don't really know. There are a couple of post-credit scenes. The first one is really intriguing and one that got me really excited, but will we see this happen? I don't know. It would be cool if we did, but again, we don't really know much, because we still have a couple more films set to release, I believe. Mostly the most exciting one being The Flash, and that's one I am looking forward to seeing. That's supposed to really get into how we're going to redefine the future of the DC cinematic entertainment universe, whatever you want to call it. But this one, I don't know, just ultimately let down. Just felt like a weird watch, a rushed watch. Too long, didn't utilize the characters in the right way. A lot of unnecessary things put in this. Yeah, I just don't know what happened. So for Shazam! Fury of the Gods, I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 10. There wasn't much holding on to this. There are some entertaining moments. I would say the fight scenes are pretty good. They're fun to watch, but overall, this is kind of a forgettable superhero movie. So I'm going to have to see where I need to work on my ranking, where this will fall into play, but I'm afraid this one may end up being pretty low. And it bums me out, because I'm such a huge fan of the first Shazam movie, was really looking forward to this one, and just ultimately felt let down by it. So hate that this is kind of like a bummer watch, but I'm very curious if you saw Shazam! Fury of the Gods. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Any of the upcoming DC films are you looking forward to? Which we got The Flash, we know we're getting that, and I think we're still getting Aquaman 2, but I don't know if we're getting anything else that's going to be set in the current DC world other than expanding into this new one that we're about to get. So anywho, thank you so much for checking this out. Be sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps this channel grow. I love getting more subscribers and would love to engage with you more. So please say hi in the comments. Would love to talk more there. Maybe I'll get to do a live stream or something like that pretty soon. Would love to do more of that as I grow this channel. But yeah, definitely looking forward to some we still got John Wick 4 and we got Dungeons and Dragons coming out later this month. I'm looking forward to seeing both of those. And I'm going to work on some other reviews for movies that I've watched over the past couple of weeks, and ones that I've really enjoyed. So I can't wait to talk about those. So thanks once again. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.